What's up, YouTubers, Mopar people? Just going to give you an update on the project generally there. We just got most of our parts in for the generally the new aluminum soft header gaskets, soft aluminum collector gaskets and bolts from Jegs. Rock Auto didn't have Moog, so I went with the higher dollar, better quality AC Delco ones that they had. We got our Energy suspension, front strut rod bushings. Picked up this, I can't remember if it was the 94, somewhere between the early and mid 90s Dodge Dakota with the V6 mini starter. That's like the cheapest one of them all. If you go get the mini starter for a V8 for the Dodge Rams, whatnot, they're like $140 some. This used to be, unless I mentioned the wrong year to the guy over the counter, instead of like a 94, I think I told him 96 or something like that. But anyway, I was used to paying $60 some plus a core charge. Well, this was $115 altogether, and then I already had an old wore out mini starter, so I put in for the core, which was about 120 some bucks anyway. I have two extra of these here, these adapters at the house. Brought one of these to put on the starter in case we need it when we put it on the 440. We got the Valley Pan gasket, KYB front shocks, idler arm, inner and outer tie rod ends, complete engine gasket set. Most of these gaskets we won't be using because, like the stock manifold gaskets, the other General Lee, the burnt orange looking one, has the small block with, or the big block with the just the stock manifolds on it. So we're going to save these for in case it develops an exhaust leak and some of this other odds and ends of stuff. We're not going to be using the factory valve stem seals. We got the machine shop going to use the better quality Vitrin, or however you want to say it, seals with the steel skirts and the blue rubber, what I call the blue rubber or blue silicone cap on the top, sleeve, whatever you want to call it, with the little tiny little fine little spring that goes around the top to keep pressure around the valve stem. Anyway, we're going to use those because after a while, these just, after a few miles or whatever, these started allowing oil past the valves. Even if you got new valves, once in a while you get a puff of smoke when you start the vehicle up, or you might get a little bit out the pipe, depending on how bad they're leaking, even if they're new. So if anybody wants these big block valve stem seals, let me know. If you're just running a stock big block, you pay the shipping, I'll just send them to you. Even if we got like some emissions type gaskets that we won't be using, if you're wanting any of that stuff, let me know too. We'll be using the water net gasket, the fuel pump gasket. Some of this stuff, I don't know if it's for like an air pump for emissions or whatever, or a EGR valve or whatever. We don't have any of that stuff on the engines. But the main thing we're waiting on is the Hedman headers we ordered from Jegs. They're in between shorties and long tube headers. I call them middies because they're in between. The collector on the driver's side stops just past the steering box but right before the starter. And passenger side, of course, comes down at an angle as well, instead of straight down or running clear back underneath the body of the car. But anyway, we have on this B body, we wanted it to lessen as much requirements as possible, to have to work on stuff, stuff in the way of getting to the starter, whatnot. So we decided to go with the Headman headers that are in between the shorties and the block hugger headers and the long tube headers. They're in between. If you want the part number, let me know, because they're supposed to be working in these A, B, C, and E body cars with the big blocks. We'll find out if one of the tubes rubs up against the steering box or something like that. If that's so, I'll heat it up a little bit and give it a little dimple. But other than that, that's all we're waiting on the headers. And the machine shop guy hasn't got back with me yet. Of course, he works by himself. He don't have other people working with him. So I'll call him today and find out if he's got started on them yet or not. See if they're still good, or if they need to be replaced. Anyway, I got to finish taking off the passenger side suspension, the control arms, that whatnot. But just thought I'd give you an update on this stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video.